Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon. Good evening. How have we been? I pray and believe that we have been well. If you've not been well, keep on trusting God. Keep on trusting the Creator. Keep on trusting in the fact that He is the one who created you, and therefore He knows what you're going through, and He knows how you're going to go through, and He knows how it will end. So at the end of the day, just trust in Him. I'm sorry if I've said just. Okay, trust in Him and rely on Him entirely. This morning I was listening to the word. Yes, listening. I wasn't reading the Bible, but I was listening in, and as I was listening, I heard the story of Joseph, that whole ordeal that Joseph went through, how he was sharing with his brothers the dreams that he had, and what the brothers did to him and where he finally ended up. And when they reached a certain story, I had to stop listening and I got to reading, and that was in chapter 41. Yes, it's chapter 41, where Pharaoh had dreams. Okay, now what stood out for me, I believe if you've read that story, you know what happened. You know how the cupbearer had forgotten about Joseph, and finally he remembered him. But one thing that came to mind, it's in verse 14. It says, I'm reading from the New Living Translation, Genesis chapter 41 and verse 14. 41, 14, forward, 1, 4. Beautiful. So Pharaoh sent for Joseph at once, and he was quickly brought from the prison. After he shaved and changed his clothes, he went in and stood before Pharaoh. What did God highlight for me in this particular scripture, in this particular portion of scripture? Even though you're a prisoner, go before the king dressed like a lord, dressed like a wise man, dressed like a knight, dressed to your best. I was asking myself, why did they clean up Joseph? Why did he clean up? Why did he even change clothes? Because he was a prisoner. Yeah, and Pharaoh knew he was coming from prison, because the cupbearer told him, there's a man, a young Hebrew boy I was with in the prison. So Pharaoh knew he was a prisoner. So why didn't Joseph come dressed as a prisoner? Whenever we are called before men of greatness, two things that God opened up to me. Physically, clean up yourself. Clean up yourself and dress in a way that will usher you into the chambers of that man or woman of greatness. Because when you go dressed in the way you are, okay, chances are high there will be a mistaken identity. This person will be like, I was told this is a wise person, but the way they are dressed, it is questionable. Okay, so two things that God opened up to me. When you're called before people of greatness, number one, remove your cloth, as in literally. Now this is literally, okay? Number one was literally. You see how sometimes when, I remember actually, when I was in primary, there is an organization that used to support us by paying our school tuition, our fees. They used to pay a portion of our fees. So sometimes they would tell us, the sponsors are coming. So we would go looking miserable so that they can identify and know, we are the ones, we are the ones who are needing your support, and actually we still need it. God opened up to me and showed me this morning, when you go before people of greatness, at least try and level up in terms of your dress code. If you're going for a business meeting, okay, let's say you're a job seeker, you're still seeking for employment, okay, dress up well, iron your clothes, put on the tie. If you have a jacket, put it on, wear your belt well, match it well with your shoes. dress up well. Do not go in ragged clothes to show that this is a situation in which I am. No, level up, be part of their community, adjust to their environment. Number 2, and very important, what is in your mind and what is coming out of your mouth. Watch what you say when you are before men and women of greatness, when you have been ushered into a realm where there are people of greatness, people who are better than you. Check the conversations you have. What's the content of your conversations? When you're before men and women of greatness, let your conversations not be the conversations you have with your fellow bench people you sit with at the bench. By people you sit with at the bench, I mean the people you fly with, your birds of the same feathers. The conversation has to change. You cannot go blabbering about did you see this video on TikTok? Did you see the other news on this TV station? Your conversation should be leveled up to match the environment in which you've been ushered into. Okay, if you have nothing to say, shut up, but yet you have to have something to say. Yeah, imagine if when Joseph was called and he did not, that is a conversation of another day. But imagine if Joseph just simply kept quiet. Of course, Pharaoh would chase him out of his way. So do your research. When you're ushered, when you're called upon by a great person to be in an environment where a great person or great woman or man is, do your research about this person. What do they talk about? Go on their social media handles. Some of them are, some of them are not. You look up news. Which areas do they go to? What interests them socially? Let your conversation be along that line. If you don't have anything to say, then ask relevant questions, because people love talking about themselves. So ask relevant, meaningful, intelligent questions to this person, okay? How has been your business journey? And when you're asking questions, don't be like an interrogator, and also don't be like you're investigating into their lives. No, ask questions that are relevant. So it is my prayer that as we go out today, 2 things: when you are going to a space that is above you, a space that you actually want to get into, dress the part. Literally dress the part. Wash up, smear up, and dress well. Okay. Number 2, your brains. Your brains should be smart, and your lips, whatever comes out of your mouth, should be smart as well. I pray that God will enable us and usher us into territories that are way above us. Those territories are ours for the taking if we are smart. Be blessed.